At the far ends of the Earth, where the sun disappears for months and the cold can shatter bone, life does the unthinkable, it thrives. This is a world of extremes, of frozen oceans and icy continents, of darkness without end and light without sleep. Here, polar bears stalk the Arctic ice, and emperor penguins guard their young against Antarctic winds that howl like ghosts. Beneath the surface, unseen worlds bloom with life, while above, silent skies fill with wings from every corner of the globe. This is not the land of death, it's a symphony of survival. A place where nature writes its harshest stories. And its most beautiful ones. Welcome to the Arctic and Antarctic, wildlife at the edge of the world, a journey into Earth's final wilderness. 10. The polar realms, nature's final frontiers. At the top and bottom of our planet lie two of the most mysterious, extreme, and untouched regions on Earth, the Arctic and Antarctic. Though both cloaked in snow and silence, they are vastly different worlds. The Arctic, an ocean surrounded by continents, is a floating world of sea ice, inhabited by native peoples and iconic predators like the polar bear. In contrast, the Antarctic is a massive frozen continent ringed by ocean, with no native human population and ruled by penguins, seals, and ice itself. These icy extremes represent Earth's oldest, coldest secrets, and they are home to some of the most extraordinary wildlife and survival stories on the planet. 9. Beneath the ice, where the web of life begins. To truly understand polar wildlife, you must look below the surface, into the icy depths where life begins. In both regions, sea ice is more than frozen water, it's an ecosystem. In the Arctic, microscopic algae bloom within and beneath the ice in spring, feeding tiny creatures like copepods, which in turn support fish, seals, and whales. In Antarctica, trillions of krill, tiny shrimp-like animals, swarm under the ice, feeding everything from whales to penguins to seabirds. These minuscule organisms may be invisible to the naked eye, but they are the foundation of the polar food chains. Without them, the giants of the deep, whales, seals, and seabirds, could not exist. 8. Leviathans of the cold, the ocean giants. Few animals capture the imagination like the whales that patrol the icy seas. In the Arctic, bowhead whales, with massive skulls capable of breaking thick ice, sing songs through the frigid darkness and can live for over 2 centuries. Beluga whales, playful and vocal, navigate the icy labyrinths in white pods. Narwhals, dubbed the unicorns of the sea, carry spiral tusks up to 10 feet long, whose exact purpose still puzzles scientists. In the Antarctic, humpback, blue, and minke whales arrive during the southern hemisphere's summer to gorge on krill. A single blue whale, the largest animal to ever exist, can eat up to 4 tons of krill in a day. In these frozen waters, the largest creatures on Earth depend entirely on the smallest. 7. Arctic hunters versus Antarctic survivors. When you think of predators at the poles, 2 images dominate: the polar bear and the leopard seal. Each reigns supreme, but in opposite hemispheres. Polar bears, found only in the Arctic, are apex predators. They roam the ice, stalking seals at breathing holes with an unmatched patience honed over millennia. Every hunt is a gamble. One successful kill might feed a bear for a week. In the Antarctic, where there are no terrestrial predators, the ocean is the battlefield. The leopard seal is the top hunter, sleek, fast, and terrifyingly efficient. It waits near ice edges, ambushing penguins with lightning-fast strikes and dragging them underwater in dramatic chases. These animals are not just hunters, they are survivors, perfectly adapted to worlds that challenge life at every turn. 6. The Great Polar Pulse, summer's short celebration. At the height of summer, both poles experience a burst of life so intense, it's like nature hitting fast forward. In the Arctic, 24-hour sunlight melts the snow, revealing a green tundra dotted with wildflowers. Migratory birds return from the south, millions of them, to nest and feed. Caribou migrate across vast distances. Arctic foxes and wolves raise pups in dens warmed by the constant sun. Mosquitoes swarm the air in clouds, feeding birds that race to rear chicks before the cold returns. In the Antarctic, the brief summer sees vast colonies of penguins, adelie, gentoo, and chinstrap, crowding rocky shores. Weddell seals and elephant seals give birth. The icy silence is broken by the shrieks of chicks and the groans of battling bulls. This fleeting season is a mad dash for survival, to feed, mate, breed, and build the next generation before winter returns with a vengeance. 5. The predator's arena. Nowhere are the stakes of survival more brutal than in the polar food chains. In the Arctic, orcas, intelligent, strategic killers, use teamwork to flip ice floes and dislodge seals. Packs of Arctic wolves pursue migrating caribou. Snowy owls hover over the tundra, hunting lemmings. Even the tiniest predators, like the short-tailed weasel, use stealth and speed to catch prey. In Antarctica, the icy water teems with hidden danger. Leopard seals wait silently below penguin colonies, ambushing any that dive into the sea. Skua birds, notorious for raiding penguin nests, steal eggs and chicks whenever the parents look away. There is no mercy here, only instinct, precision, and survival. 4. Adaptations. Built to endure the impossible. Surviving in the polar extremes requires more than toughness, it demands evolutionary genius. Polar bears have insulating black skin beneath their fur and huge paws that act like snowshoes. Arctic foxes can hear rodents tunneling beneath snow and have fur-covered footpads to grip ice. In Antarctica, penguins have specialized feathers that trap heat and thick layers of blubber for insulation. Their flippers act like wings underwater, propelling them with astonishing grace. Weddell seals can dive over 600 meters and hold their breath for over an hour to find cracks in the ice. These creatures aren't merely surviving the cold. They are sculpted by it, shaped into masters of endurance through countless generations. 3. Meltdown. The climate crisis unfolding. Yet, even these marvels of evolution are facing a threat they cannot adapt to quickly enough: climate change. The Arctic is warming 4 times faster than the rest of the planet. Sea ice is vanishing. Without it, polar bears can't hunt, walruses haul out on unsafe land, and indigenous communities face food insecurity and cultural loss. In Antarctica, ice shelves the size of cities are breaking apart. Melting glaciers threaten global sea level rise. Warming seas endanger krill populations, the base of the Southern Ocean food chain, threatening whales, seals, and penguins in turn. This is not a future problem. It is a crisis unfolding now. And the polar regions, once seen as eternal and unchanging, are rapidly rewriting their own fate. 2. Sanctuaries of peace and science. But in the darkness, there is hope. The Antarctic Treaty, signed in 1959, set aside the continent for peace, science, and conservation. Military activity is banned. Instead, countries collaborate to study climate, wildlife, and the cosmos. It remains one of humanity's rare victories in global cooperation. In the Arctic, indigenous peoples, the Inuit, Sami, Nenets, and others, have lived with the land for millennia. Their knowledge of seasonal change, animal behavior, and ice patterns is irreplaceable. As guardians of the North, their voices must be central to conservation. These are not just wild places. They are symbols of what humanity can protect, if we choose to. 1. The Earth's icy heart beats when all is quiet. When the winds calm and the ice creaks in the darkness, you begin to understand. The poles are not distant. They are not empty. They are beating hearts of our planet, regulating oceans, temperatures, and life itself. What happens at the edge of the world will touch every coastline, every city, every breath of air we take. To lose the Arctic or Antarctic is to lose more than ice. It is to lose ancient rhythms, magnificent creatures, and some of Earth's last sacred spaces. And so, we must protect them, not just for the sake of the polar bear or the penguin, but for the balance of the entire world. In a world that feels increasingly chaotic, there are still places where nature speaks louder than machines, where a whale's breath, a penguin's call, or a polar bear's step tells a story written in snow. The Arctic and Antarctic are those stories, wild, fragile, beautiful. And they are worth every effort to preserve. As the ice melts and the winds shift, the fate of these frozen frontiers hangs in delicate balance. Because at the ends of the world begins the story of Earth itself. As we return from the edge of the world, one thing becomes clear: the polar regions are not just icy voids, but living realms teeming with resilience and wonder. These frozen frontiers remind us of the raw power of nature and the fragile balance we are all a part of. If this glimpse into Earth's coldest corners moved you, like, share, and subscribe, because the stories of the wild are vanishing faster than the ice that holds them. Until next time, keep exploring, keep protecting, and never stop marveling at the wonders of our planet.